Hello boys, I'm starting a new series today to help people learn the basics of Python. So I'll introduce you guys to the basics of Python and teach you just some of the cool basic aspects in the series. This first aspect is just the beginning stages of creating a quiz. This just will teach you some of the different aspects of using variables, accepting inputs and all that. This is really basic, but this is the best to learn in my opinion is the basics. So I always like to import time even if I don't know if I'm going to use it. It's just because it's always useful to have if you're not doing something like a bot and yeah. And you definitely know it won't be used in your project, which I highly doubt. There's certain aspects that I don't use, obviously. Don't import it, but I always personally prefer to. I like to do quotes, so out itself, so when you do a hash, then anything after that, and just don't get run, it's just quote it out. So I do quiz, there we go. If I then do name equals input, then I do what is your name. And then I grab a terminal session for you. Just clear that for you. Let's see. Document. There you go. I will run that. And the pipeline, as you can see, I'll run Ubuntu. Will be a bit different if you're running on something on Windows, but on Windows it would be essentially the same command after installing Python. So I'm going to assume you guys know how to do and run Python files. You just need to learn how to code. And it's asking what your name is. I'd say Sage. It does nothing like that. It's just exits out of the program, doesn't it? So what we want to do is we want to do something like aka string. What most schools teach you, which I don't agree with personally, is to use this method of doing variables when you're writing input statements and statements in general. I'll show you the method they teach you and the method I personally recommend, purely because it's different, and I'll explain why. Okay, so hello. You do a space, you do that. You see? I type that, it says hello. I'll explain to you why I don't like this method. One, because it just looks clunky, it's hard to read. And two, because there's a much efficient way. So I'll delete that print statement just to start fresh from where I am. Okay. Like this, I personally do F, open this, and then we're going to do hello, open that, just type the variable name. I print that, I do Sage. Look, it just says that. It looks a lot cleaner. It's a lot easier to read. So yeah. Then a basic next step for most people would be doing age equals input. What is your age? I guess a more human question would be how old are you? But as you see, that's getting registered as a string. Because how inputs work is they take whatever is inputted as a string. But to be able to use it in any sort of way useful to us, we need it as an integer. So what we do there, we do int open bracket, let me skip to the end. And we close bracket. And now that's registered as an integer. There is one crucial flaw of integers, which is why you might want to convert it later on, but that'll cause a module to check it, and then that's a whole next step. Which, this is very basic, we don't really need to worry about. I do like page. So let's just say with that 20. Yeah, no worries. I haven't made it do anything yet. Sage. If I type that, it wouldn't be very happy with me. So what I would. So that's a crucial error. I will be making a future video on how to do this and how to use a module I personally made for this, but I'll get to that a different time. So I do is, so what we now want to do is we now need to use something called an if statement. What an if statement is, it's when you take an input for the variable we defined here, name and age. We're creating variables when we're doing this. So we can do if age is equal is above or equal to 13. We can print you qualify for this quiz. And we can do elif, which you might ask why we don't use if. It just causes issues, and straight away just use elif if it's all possible. Then we do if age is below 13, we print you don't qualify for this. And then we would exit. Look at that. Some people use sys or exit. I personally prefer just exit. In my opinion, it works better. If I then do else, print error, because you realize this statement should not ever fail, but we always want an else statement just because that, and then we would exit. So now if we try run this in here, I'll click console just to make it easy for you guys to read. I would type in Sage, how old are you? I would just type in 2. If you don't qualify this quiz, or exit. I type in Sage. You qualify this quiz. One thing I personally recommend for people who do this, is a thing I like to do, is I like to do, this is a bit advanced, but this is something which if you learn simple, it's variables. So if I just do blank equals print, and then just, and I can just do very basic stuff called the blank and here. This is not how you're meant to do it, but it's first thing I do it. But technically the easy way to do this, how I just did that, would just be so in between each of your lines, you're doing this. And that means there's separation, so it's easier to read to the human eye who's trying to understand what it's actually doing. You may ask why I don't do it here. It's because we're doing it before the if statement. There is one crucial flaw with if statements. It's because beyond this, if we have more questions where it's in an if and we're not just collecting data, we will get a nested if statement, which is doable, but some people don't like, which I honestly don't mind for people. It can cause errors. So if you're doing anything like which X meant to X out the program, don't do it. You need to just continue going with different paths from your if statement. But we'll trouble that in a later episode. So if you now see I run this code, so if you see how this was running before, see, not easy to read. If I were to do, there we go. Pretty basic. And it looks a lot cleaner, it's easier to read. And that's the first episode for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed and see you guys in the next episode. Anyway, see you boys.